So I'd go home, after school and watch Club MTV.
Broadcasting live from an Airstream somewhere in Tornado Alley, bringing you the people, places, and stories from the Panhandle to the Red River. This is your Only in Oklahoma show.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing some activities that are coming up in the state of Oklahoma during the month of June. I'm Brett.
And I am Harley.
So I spent some time in T-Town this weekend. Actually, in not Texas, Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
I mean, there's Tishomingo. I haven't been to Tishomingo in a while. Tuttle, I go there frequently, but Tulsa was the main objective for this weekend.
Are you saying that Tulsa, Oklahoma is T-Town and not Tahlequah?
Ooh.
I don't know.
I don't know how to... I'm backing myself into a corner.
Living on Tulsa time.
Pretty much.
Okay, go.
So I was living on Tulsa time this weekend. Got to go to some really cool places. Outsiders Museum. Went to a concert. I did it all. I had another hamburger.
Mm-hmm.
I did. We both did. We both had a hamburger. But tons of fun. I had videos on the way. Some shows. We got plenty of stuff for shows coming up. But yeah, it was a lot of fun.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that is really convenient because our first event for the month of June is also in Tulsa. The World Breaking Classic Open Qualifiers. Breakdancing,
Breakdancing, dude.
Come on.
I'm doing the freaking pop and lock right now. Yeah, that's nostalgia for me. I remember being taken to not one but two breaking movies. The first one in Electric Boogaloo when I was a kid. I had a cut-off shirt. I had the shoes, the windsuit pants, the sunglasses. I had the works.
Yeah, I distinctly remember a pair of parachute pants in my life in middle school.
Yeah, they had mine had zippers on that they were zippers to nowhere. I never could understand it. They were right on the thigh. What am I going to put in here? Baseball cards? I don't know.
I think I probably had pants with zippers that didn't actually do anything.
Dude, they were just the zipper.
Yeah, like you could zip them up and down, but there was nothing in there.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah. So the World Breaking Classic opens Tulsa June 4th, so really quick.
Yeah.
This was actually a suggestion from the team over at visittulsa.com.
Yeah, they reached out to us, which was really cool.
Listened to one of our other shows, thought this would be up our alley, and I have to agree that this is literally would be breakdancing in the alley. Like if there was ever an alley to do some dance offs. So they are going to have B-boys and B-girls from all around the world there performing mind-blowing breakdancing power moves at the Legacy Hall stage. I
would love nothing more than I wanted to do nothing more than be a breakdancer, to be a dancer. You know what I mean? I'm kind of had that, I can't think of the name of the movie where the kid was afraid to dance in front of anybody. So I'd go home, after school and watch Club MTV. And then when Eric Nies and The Grind came on, I'd be dancing around. And then, if I saw my parents got home, I'd straighten up real quick, kind of puff my chest out a little bit more.
Can you believe they're playing this on the television?
This is the devil's music.
I didn't realize this, but actually breakdancing is a little older than I thought it was. I really felt like breakdancing
was 80s.
Yep. And it turns out that it was a 70s street dancing from the Bronx. Has become more popular than it was when we were younger. It's going to be included in the World Games
in
2022 and the Paris Summer Olympics in 2024. And so I was kind of taken aback when I was looking at this.
Well, breakdancing, somebody's probably going to throw a breakdancing tennis shoe at me or something, was kind of a counterculture thing. It was kind of held in the same, breakdancers were viewed similarly to graffiti artists back then.
Or skateboarders.
It was it was counterculture.
Yeah, it was definitely outside of the norm.
Yeah.
And the WBC has been doing this since 2009, and they've really kind of helped propel breakdancing from being a counterculture activity to being more mainstream.
Yeah, and again, I remember watching old videos from the 70s of them back on, they bring out their cardboard and they'd be on the corner having dance battles with boom boxes, to this thing now where there are dance competitions now on television, and it's a worldwide phenomenon. There have been documentaries about breakdancing and different arts of dance that are kind of in the same style. So it's really, again, it's been a long time coming, really.
I agree, but I also think that it really takes people that are a little bit more visionary.
Yeah.
And I'm going to have to give some credit to the Tulsa Sports Commission. They were created in 1993 to attract and develop sporting events and conventions and that sort of thing in Tulsa around the sporting world. And they are the ones who adopted this and brought this into Tulsa proper. And dude, they've done some real good work there.
Yeah.
From what I gather, the Tulsa Sports Commission has added more than $500 million to the economy in Tulsa.
We talked about this a little bit off the air, and I'm not trying to throw any shade over OKC, and they don't, to some people, they don't need any help with that. But Tulsa has to me, it's like a miniature. I hate to compare it to it. It really reminds me a lot of Austin.
It does have a kind of that keep
folksy,
Tulsa weird kind of
right. Well, I bought a sticker over the weekend even that says Tulsa's the next. It's got Austin marked out, Nashville. It's the next Tulsa but it does have flavors from Nashville with the music, and Austin with kind of that art community. They've really embraced downtown Tulsa and Tulsa as a whole. That I wish they would do a little bit more of that down here instead of building something new, tearing something old down and building something completely, some monstrosity. I don't know.
I agree. I really think that we don't do enough work to maintain the character that exists. So we feel, and I'm not picking on Oklahoma City or anybody, any town individually. I'm just saying far too often.
Yeah.
The go-to move is to tear something down that's old and build something new to reimagine yourself.
Right.
When if you work with what you have, it always seems to be a better product in the end.
Like, I'll use the Outsiders Museum, for instance. The floors in the house that were there, I think, since 1933, they kept the original hardwood floors. I know it's a small percentage of the bigger picture, but you look around Tulsa, everywhere, all these little cool little shops, Buck Adams.
Yeah.
They turned a service station into a cute little hip.
Dude, the Buck Adams place is really a billboard to Route 66.
Oh, it is. It is a love letter.
It's a 3D billboard.
Absolutely.
For Route 66.
Yeah, and it's a postcard if you took a picture of it. But again, not to, to get back further into what you were talking about. I like $500 million, that's a huge impact.
Yeah, it really is. And you were talking about graffiti. Yeah. One of the cool things that they're doing, the signage and the event decor, is all graffiti art for the event.
Neat, man. I think that's so cool.
As far as the event itself goes, though, it's the registration is open to all ages. Dude, this is broadcasting to the world. The contestants are competing for 2 automatic berths into the WBC World Final 2022, $4,000 and a 2-night stay in Eindhoven, Netherlands.
That's the other thing. This thing is, when people put, it's the World Championship, and it's just in name. This is literally
the world.
The people are coming from everywhere to compete, to go to Europe. This isn't, you know what I mean? It's not just a trophy that says, I'm a world champion at Monopoly. You know what I mean? Like, I know it's a stupid example, but that's just so cool.
Some of the specifics on the event, though. The schedule, 3 p.m. doors open, 4 p.m. they have the showcase. 7 p.m. is the top 16 battling against each other. Tickets are only $20.
That's cheap, man.
There are limited chairs, floor and standing room. Kids 15 and under get in free. And again, if you're looking for a hit of nostalgia from the 80s, dude, I think this is probably an event that you're not going to want to miss. If you want more information, you can go to visittulsa.com, or you can go directly to the event website, which is plus7company.com/World Breaking Classic.
I feel like since we've been visited by visittulsa.com that our show has just evolved naturally into the Tulsa Tourism Show.
Well, I do have another Tulsa event. I specifically chose this for a reason.
Okay.
I feel like Brett and Tara have abandoned the vegan lifestyle.
Right.
So I felt like it was necessary for at least one of us to champion the vegan community.
I thought this might be an attempt to have us show up and them do an intervention, if you will.
No, I feel like they need a voice on our show.
Since they don't have one.
And I figure since you're not doing it, I will. So coming up on June 4th at the Guthrie Green in Tulsa, Oklahoma is Tulsa Veg Fest.
Okay.
This plant-based food gathering will feature vendors and exhibitors, 100% plant-based food court, demonstrations on incorporating healthful practices into daily routine, and a lot more.
Well, and I feel like if you're in town for breakdancing, why not go down and have a beet burger?
Because you'll be at the burger place.
That's true.
With grease dripping down your chin.
Man, Hank's Burgers, we can talk about it later. I did not do Veg Fest over the weekend. I did Hank's Hamburgers, but we'll talk about that some other time.
So Veg Fest, though, is thousands of festival goers, vegans, non-vegans alike. You can learn a lot about protecting the planet, your health, and animals. It's kind of a lifestyle event, I would say.
I like how you put that. It's an opportunity for all these cult members to converge on Tulsa, right? Is that that where you're going with that?
I'm all for people eating healthy.
Yeah.
I just personally don't follow the vegan dictates, but I am 100% all in on eating healthy. You should eat a lot of vegetables.
Really
I just
should.
also feel like there should be some squirrels.
Some squirrels. At minimum, some squirrels.
But they're going to have wellness coaches, health experts, speeches and demonstrations on aging, athletics, cardiovascular health, Man, how to grow a kitchen garden.
I can learn that from you.
You can, but not everybody can.
Would you go to this?
I absolutely 100% would go to this.
Why?
Again, I'm about eating healthy. We may disagree on protein sources, but I think healthy eating, it starts with the ground. It starts with the soil.
You'd probably walk around with a shirt that says Venison-tarian on it.
Venison-tarian.
Being a sausage-tarian. Being a tarian. Beefing.
But it really looks like a lot of fun. And if this is something you're really...
Does it look fun? Be honest.
I'm being 100% serious. This looks like a lot of fun.
You're selling the sizzle, if you don't mind your vegetables being the sizzle instead of venison.
Again, I love asparagus.
Mm-hmm.
I love zucchini.
With your prime rib.
Broccoli. I don't know.
Are you a chicken breast guy or a thigh man?
Thighs are better
than the breast.
It's harder to cook a thigh.
It is,
but thighs are better as a finished product.
More flavor.
But again, we're talking about vegans and vegetarianism.
Right. I'm sorry,
and you're ruining it because again, you have abandoned the vegetarians. Yeah. You left them out in the cold.
Right.
It's raining. It's been raining for 5 days
since I've completely went off the rails.
And our vegetable friends,
the veggie crew,
the veggie friends, have been left out there in the rain the whole week.
Right.
But if you're hardcore vegetarian, vegan, that sort of stuff, they have a new event, a new part of this event. I said that it was June 4th. The day before, so June 3rd, they had the Tulsa Veg Fest dinner experience. And this is 100% plant-based, but more importantly, it's more specifically as a fundraiser for the organization.
Right.
Dinner, live music, that sort of stuff. A special message from the Tulsa Veg Fest speaker, Dr. Jim Loomis. A lot more. It's really where they raise the money for the plant-based green country outreach efforts. If you're interested in either the dinner or the event at Guthrie Green, check out their website, tulsavegfest.org.
I wonder if you could cook asparagus in a Dutch oven.
You might be able to. I'm 100% sure that you could cook asparagus. You say some of the weirdest things sometimes. I never know what's going to come out of your mouth. But speaking of Dutch ovens, we do have an event in Wilburton, Oklahoma on June 9th and 12th. The What About Bob Chuck Wagon races.
I haven't read far enough, but something tells me it doesn't have anything to do with
Bill
Murray or Richard Dreyfuss.
It does not. The What About Bob Chuck Wagon races offers 4 days of really unique, almost only in OK events.
Right.
You're talking about concerts, barrel racing on Thursday night, live music, a pasture team, and roping on Friday, and then chuck wagon races on both Saturday and Sunday.
I don't know if you know this or not. Did you know that chuck wagon races is like a big, big deal?
I do know that.
They have a national championship in Arkansas every August.
Literally, you're talking hundreds of teams of horses, mules, drivers, and cooks, outriders, all competing in wide open race to the finish line at this event.
Dude, it's a big... I worked with a lady who went... Her and her husband were chuck wagon race groupies. They went to the national championships every year. It's crazy. I didn't think anything about it. I just thought that's where you got, that's the best beans and cornbread. I didn't know that they were literally hauling asses.
100%. And events like this, again, this is one of those things where people, it's kind of like when people look at Oklahoma, a lot of people from outside of the state will look at Oklahoma and be like, that's a flyover state.
Right.
Like, this is one of those events where I think you have to have experienced it to know what you're missing.
Yeah, to appreciate it. And you really have to kind of have a curiosity that's already, it's such is it niche?
I mean, it isn't a niche event, but it's something with so much heritage and so much depth. Like, I promise you, if you go to the chuck wagon races, I promise you're going to be able to find chuck wagon food.
Yep.
You're not going to find that at the state fair.
Right.
You're not going to find that at at the chain restaurant down the street. This is a unique event.
Yeah.
Unique activities. If you go to an event like this with an open mind, you are going to have a good time, and you're going to have some awesome stories to share.
Yeah, because it's so unique. It's kind of, we talked about frog races last week. Like, how much more unique can you get? I mean,
and more importantly, this part of the state, I mean, Southeast Oklahoma is gorgeous.
Oh, it is.
And Wilburton, all the stuff that you can do in and around Wilburton. The place is a postcard.
Oh,
like from every angle.
It really is. Like, you don't even have to be a very good photographer to find a photo-worthy moments down there.
Absolutely not. And if you are interested in a really unique experience, the best way to find them is going to be at Facebook, facebook.com, What About Bob Chuck Wagon Race.
Well, coming up after the break, hour number 2, just kidding. We got the Cock of the Walk in Broken Arrow.
So, Brett, on your trip to Tulsa, Oklahoma,
yes,
you came back with quite the haul and stickers.
Stickers.
I love stickers.
I like stickers, too.
My desk is completely covered in stickers.
It is.
And the problem with these stickers is I'm not going to be able to stick them on my desk.
Why?
They're too nice.
They are nice. They're not throwaway stickers.
They are not.
Yeah, I can tell you they cost more than throwaway stickers.
And it's one of those things where small businesses, every good small business has stickers, dude.
A sticker pack, yeah.
I'm telling you, it's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if you have a company that needs stickers, we know a guy. Ronnie Davenport, firefighter, screen printer,
sticker maker.
Sticker.
I feel like that's a rhyme that should end
sticker
with
flicker?
shoemaker, clock ticker. I don't know what. But yes, if you're looking to upgrade your image or you're looking to add new images, you definitely want to contact Ronnie for a free quote. You can get him at 405-517-2174.
Or find him on the web at tailboardapparel.com.
Well, we're moving out of Tulsa proper and headed to the suburbs of Tulsa. This time, Broken Arrow for Rooster Days Festival in Broken Arrow going on June 9th through the 12th. It's one of the oldest festivals in Oklahoma. It started in 1931. But why is Rooster in the title? Well, it's pretty simple. Broken Arrow was a huge poultry industry back then. Acreages surround every farm or acreage in Broken Arrow had a chicken or two.
But why Rooster and not Chicken Festival?
Well, they had to create a special day just to bring the roosters to town because there were so many roosters it disrupted the fertility of the egg-making chickens. The ladies, instead of having a fox in a hen house, there were too many roosters in the hen house. Can you have too many roosters in the hen house?
I think you probably can.
Well, there were only 2 regionally known hatcheries, and they were both in Broken Arrow.
Mm-hmm.
So that means there were only 2 production houses. There was about 5,000 pounds of roosters the first day of this festival.
Okay.
That's more than 2 tons. They sold more than 2 tons of roosters.
It's a lot of chicken nuggets.
It's a lot of chicken nuggets. But they created kind of a contest out of it. There were prizes for the best rooster, the biggest rooster. I was almost going to say the biggest, but I'm not going to do it. You knew what I was going to say.
Yeah.
And the noisiest, which I think all roosters are pretty much the noisiest. But the highlight of the day, they piped in loud, obnoxious music all day long. I'm not sure if it was to annoy the roosters, annoy the patrons, or to drown out the sound of 5,000 roosters.
5,000 pounds of roosters.
Oh, 5,000 pounds of roosters. That's still a lot. That's a ton. A ton. Literally, when you say there were a ton of roosters, there were a literal ton of roosters. Now, the following year, it was decided the community needs some type of a special fun activity to kind of bring the community together and their love for all things poultry.
Mm-hmm.
So what do? You bring 2 of the biggest things in Oklahoma to party. You bring in the Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, and you bring in wrestling.
For real?
Yeah.
1932?
1932. You know how much it cost for them to bring wrestling? Sam Avery, he was kind of like the god of wrestling in Tulsa.
Right.
He brought wrestling to Broken Arrow for the small price of $25 and made it free to the public.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was totally free.
So Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys.
We've talked about them many times.
We have, but I didn't realize that they covered that time period.
Yes.
I really thought they were a
little
decade
bit later.
or 2 later.
No.
So when you said Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys, I was like, hold on, it doesn't match up in my head, but it makes sense.
Well, we've talked about them a few times. We did the show on Bristow. They spent a lot of time that whole area.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, again, we've Kane's Ballroom. You got the sticker right over there. Was the home of Bob Wills. So that was, you've got the biggest name in the region, if not one of the biggest names in the country.
Yeah.
At your Rooster Fest.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty tall order there.
So what does the festival look like today, though?
They do a 5K fun run.
Uh-huh.
There's carnival rides, passes. They're going to have a parade that starts at 4 on Friday. So typically, when your parade started, that's what they call the grand entry.
Mm-hmm.
That's really when you want to. That's the best time to be there. Is at the beginning. That's what launches the whole thing.
I definitely feel like you can't. To get the full experience,
yeah, you got to be there day one.
You have to be there at the beginning. I think it makes a difference.
And I think if you're Broken Arrow and people call in to go to this, you're okay with it. The boss there are probably some shops that go, sorry, we're closed for Rooster Fest. It's a big deal.
I would hope that most of the businesses would be open. It seems like it would be a perfect opportunity to kind of seize the foot traffic.
So a lot like other festivals, there's children's area, but they've got a 20,000 square foot area that's just dedicated to arts and crafts. 20,000 square feet. That's a lot.
Big.
That's big. On-site food vendors, it's going to be the standard fare, probably some food trucks running around, live music. Another thing that's big in Oklahoma that we've learned in the last couple of years of doing this show, how big an industry, how big of a sporting event this following thing is. And we still haven't grasped the concept. It's their 5th annual Cornhole Tournament.
Yeah, it seems to be a thing. And you know what? I noticed, like, I'm not a big TV watcher, but I have been in a few hotels over the last couple of months with the traveling that I've been doing.
And late night.
Yes. I've noticed that ESPN almost exclusively cornhole tournaments when I walk into a hotel room.
At the state fair, they had some type of a regional qualifier at the state fair. And these people, you would think they're out there in like, their T-shirts or their polo shirts or whatever. They're sponsored. They've got some, hell's bells. If cornholers can get a sponsor, Lord knows we can.
So as far as the cornhole tournament goes, what's cost? What are the prizes, that sort of stuff?
60 per team. Cash prizes are going to be awarded, obviously, for first and second. You're probably going to get a complimentary cornhole for third place and beyond, cool. Or a corn dog for corn. I don't know. You'd have to see. But for more information, if you have questions that haven't been answered, you can check them out at roosterdays.com.
Awesome.
We went from all this vegan talk. Now I'm hoping we do a beef segment, but we're moving from chicken to the fish. I feel like I'm on an airplane going. I had the chicken. But bring your lawn chairs this time, folks. We're headed to Wacker Park in Pauls Valley to celebrate the sport of noodling at the world-famous Oaky Noodling Tournament. Now, this event was created for the documentary Oaky Noodling in 2001.
Yes.
And I don't know if you've ever seen the documentary. If you get a chance, it's probably free on YouTube. But this particular sport has been featured on Animal Planet.
This event has
been featured on Animal Planet, History Channel, the BBC, National Geographic. Name it. Any major news outlet from around the world has covered this event. Now, do you know much about noodling?
Okay.
What?
I hate to even say this.
What?
Noodling terrifies me.
It does scare the living hell out of me.
I don't like
the idea of sticking your head in a hole.
I don't like getting in water that I can't see through and sticking my hands in caves,
in hopes of being bitten.
Terrifies the living hell. The intestinal fortitude of starting, even considering doing what these people do, just boggles my mind.
There are fighter pilots that I bet wouldn't noodle.
For sure.
People with, I don't know, there's trained assassins that probably wouldn't noodle.
I've seen catfish that I wouldn't want to catch with a fishing pole.
So the idea is you put your hand down there so they can, blindly of course, so they can bite it, and then you shove your hand in and you hook them by the gill.
And pull them out.
Yeah. But I've seen some women that freaking crush dudes at this. So back to the competition.
Okay.
We all know what noodling is. It's the practice of fishing with your bare hands. Who does that? A superhero?
Yeah.
But all teams, if you're going to do it, you got to register your teams by noon on Thursday. It literally is a one-of-a-kind event. I can't think of any. It's right up there. It's got to be up there with frog races.
Well, and back to what you said, this thing has been featured on every TV station known to man, and real coverage.
Oh yeah.
It's not like it was just mentioned.
Right, or they're making fun. They're making. I'm sure some people have fun at the expense of noodling, but it's a serious deal. This is a true story. There have been people that have drowned.
Oh, I know.
Because they get,
my personal opinion, this whole event is just nightmare fuel for me. I would be scared for the people doing it. If I'm sitting on the side in my lawn chair watching the event, I'm terrified, I don't want to see a little kid out there noodling.
No.
It would terrify me.
I have a hard time picking up 70 pounds of weights, let alone willingly sticking my hand in a hole and pulling something out that does not want to be removed.
Yeah.
Because some of these fish, like I said, clock in at 70 pounds.
That's huge, dude.
That's huge.
So back to the event, though.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day event, right?
2-day event. You're going to see everybody's competing. Really, I think at the end of the day, you're competing for bragging rights. but there are cash prizes involved. There's going to be all kinds of, I mean, if you're just there to kind of watch at the weigh-ins and things like that, there's going to be food, beer, live music, a kid's noodling clinic. Like, what do you do? What's a kid? But I've seen kids do it too.
Again, dude, I'm telling you, I've seen some of the fish they pull out of there, and they're bigger than most kids.
Now, this is a part that I would probably be okay with. I would eat a 70-pound catfish. I mean, over time, but they're having a catfish cook-off.
Dude, I'm all in on that part.
Yeah.
The catfish cook-off, the food, the beer, live music.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 100% all in.
Yep.
But again, I'm not super stoked about getting the fish from the water to the grill.
That is we talk about farm to table. We talk about locally sourced fresh ingredients.
Mm-hmm.
Brother, this is the ultimate in that. Like, if there was an extreme case of farm to table, short of slitting a cow's throat and dragging it to the kitchen by the horns.
We just lost all of our vegan listeners.
Sorry,
you very much.
I know. I'll make up for it when I go to Veg Fest on June 4th after I go breakdancing.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, this is I still can't wrap my head around it. I wouldn't even, I don't know that, I don't love water, and I definitely don't like the idea of,
You're scared of water. I'm not scared of water, and I'm not scared of fish. I'm scared of sticking my hand into a dark cave underneath the water with the intent of something biting me. I'm not cool with that. But anyway, we keep derailing. I know you keep derailing me. My scared, I don't know, my crazy fears keep derailing this. What else is happening at the event?
All kinds of, they're going to have a kids catfish eating contest, inflatables, games, and another round of cornhole.
Nice.
Yeah, on Saturday it's going to have a 70% payout. $20 entry fee, so get your teams registered. I'd say you probably have to have that done by no later than Friday. And then, as always, they're going to have a coronation of the Oaky Noodling Queen.
Okay, we need to hold on a minute. What? I got to see the Oaky Noodling Queen. I've got to pull up the website.
Okay.
There it goes. 1 second. OakyNoodling.com is the website. Scrolling down, band lineup. I'm going to bring my own ice chest.
Dude, there are some heavy hitters that are.
Oaky Noodling Queen. Hang on, I got to see. So dude, I'm going to have to say that I'm assuming this is last year's Oaky Noodling Queen on the picture here.
Yeah.
She's very attractive. I did not expect to see a super attractive woman.
What did you expect?
I don't know.
Dig yourself out of this one, brother. You're on your own.
I honestly thought that anybody that's willing to get down in that red water, that they had to look tougher than this woman doesn't. She's gorgeous. She doesn't look like she fights with giant catfish.
Right.
When you say wrestling giant catfish, I think like SpongeBob.
Right.
So I'm expecting to see a woman that looks like Squidward or something.
Golly.
And that's not what I saw.
Man, I tell you what, we may never get invited there. But if you have any questions or concerns about noodling as much as Harley does, you can go to OakyNoodling.com. So moving on to something that's probably a little bit more our speed, more our, intellect, because noodling clearly isn't for either one of us. It's SoonerCon returns, the almighty SoonerCon, June 24th and 26th, or June 24th through the 26th, Norman, Oklahoma. The annual SoonerCon is a celebration of fiction, art, literature. It's a Comic-Con.
It is.
I mean, they're going to have everybody from the guy that played a Power Ranger to writers, voice actors, cosplayers.
One of the things that I think most people don't know about SoonerCon, and I'm sorry if I'm stepping on your toes on this.
Yeah.
This is a fan-organized event and has been for years.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is relatively unique.
Yeah, it doesn't happen. Usually there's major organizers, and then there's kind of, it's a big corporate to do, and I mean, and I've been to a lot of those, but I've had a lot of fun going to some of the smaller conventions like SoonerCon, because it is a fan fair.
I've been to a lot of them, and I will say my favorite have always been the little one-off cons.
Yeah.
I took Alyssa to a Comic-Con in Wichita, Kansas, and it was a tiny little Comic-Con. Like, the hotel didn't look like it was big enough to hold a Comic-Con.
And it did, yeah.
And we went because there was a particular author or writer or producer or something that was specifically related to one of her favorite comics or something. And we went there to see them. And I think I had more fun at that than all of the other cons that I've been to over the years.
Yeah, I think granted, they're not as grandiose as like your San Diego Comic-Cons or your Dallas Fan Expos. And I think there's some charm to that too. You know what I mean? It's a little bit more intimate, so you get a little bit more time with your favorite celebrities than, I went to a Texas Frightmare a few weeks ago, and literally people had waited in line for 9 hours to meet Robert Englund. And then some people didn't get to see it. So there are some advantages to
going to a smaller event. I'm not even implying that SoonerCon is a smaller event.
Right.
It's obviously not the San Diego Comic-Con size.
Yeah.
It's at the Embassy Suites by Hilton in Norman, which is a big venue.
Yeah, it's a big venue. They've upgraded. They were in Midwest City there for a while, and I've been to a few of those, but it was just kind of scattered out, and you had to go upstairs for one thing and downstairs for another. And what I like about this is it's going to be 3 days. Starts on Friday. They're going to have everything, all kinds of workshop, performances, gaming. Your kind of your standard con type fare,
right?
With having panels and all kinds of different, like STEM is going to be there, so you'll have some STEM industry professionals there as well,
right?
And this is a perfect opportunity. People that go to these things, that go to even like your medieval fairs, this is a great opportunity to dress up. Dress up as your favorite Jedi. Dress up as your favorite anime character. Meet your favorite characters, for crying out loud. I can't say enough about it. They've been doing it for so long.
Yeah, I think if I'm going to say that, definitely look at the website, see who's going to be there.
Yeah.
See if your fandom is represented there, because those are a great place to get, like that 2 or 3 minute one-on-one conversation with somebody that you really like from TVs, movies, that sort of stuff.
And being someone that, for me, my community, everybody has their community, is the horror community. There's nothing better than being in a group of your like-minded people that enjoy the same thing,
vegans.
Like vegans. So go to Veg Fest. But if you want to nerd out, I was implying
that you were cosplaying as a vegan for the last 2 months, by the way. I don't know if you caught that or not.
What is it called? Imposter syndrome? There's something in the DSM-5 for what I thought I was trying to do. But I go nerd out, geek out. You get to do it once in a while.
Yeah, put on your superhero cape and check out the website, SoonerCon.com.
Right, and if you want to be a real hero, though, what's the best way to... What is besides being bitten by a spider or your parents being murdered in an alleyway, what's the best way to become a hero with the OnlyinOKShow?
With the OnlyinOKShow? I'm going to say that giving us a 5-star review on whatever platform you're using, that's got to be better than saving the world.
I am begging you to please give us a 5-star review. We deserve it.
We do.
Or give us a 1-star review.
I would prefer all the stars, but you do you. Be honest.
Be honest.
At the end of the day. Well, this has been the OnlyinOKShow. I am Harley.
And I'm Brett.
And we're out of here.
Peace. Muted. The mute. Shamazel. OnlyinOK Incorporated. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We're gonna do it. We're gonna travel the state, yeah. We're gonna have some hamburger and cake, yeah. We're gonna make your dreams come true.
What was my horrible experience?
Over the weekend?
Where did we go? What did we do? Oh, we went to Missouri.
Oh.
Dude, I honestly believe in my heart that there is no other place in the country that knows how to drive.
Besides us?
Yeah, it's bad.
I'm kind of starting to feel that way, man. Tulsa wasn't bad because you're kind of still. I know it sounds silly, but being in Tulsa, I still kind of felt like I was in another state still, but it was something familiar.
Mm-hmm.
But you go to Texas. Texas is it's really the only place besides Memphis that I've driven outside of the state in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Texas can go straight to hell.
Yeah, dude, I don't get it.
Are you just talking about the trip there, or just kind of trying to find your way around
the people in? So, for starters, the roads suck. Like, I know we complain about our roads, and I know there's some room for improvement, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But they have way too many points where there is a major exit off of a highway and two major on-ramps all at the same time.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, it goes from 8 lanes down to 2, and there's more cars coming onto this stretch of road. What are you doing?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I'm using Texas as an example. We're driving along, and we're in what would be considered the passing lane, I guess. No, I wouldn't. It's 2 lanes still. They don't have a rule like that. We're in this stretch of road. Anyway, so we're crawling, and all of a sudden, we're like, whoa. And this lady just came over, steady as she went. I didn't honk because, what good would it do? She'd already made it. Mm-hmm. It wouldn't I don't want her to hit her brakes and then everybody dies, but that's another thing too. People just aren't paying attention at all. How many lights do you how many people run lights now?
Dude, the amount of people that I see on their phones driving is scary.
It's scary, yeah.
I take this little stretch of turnpike between Chickasha and Oklahoma City all the time.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I'm driving. I've got my cruise control on, so I know my speed isn't changing.
Right.
In the right-hand lane, you come up on somebody who's doing 10 miles an hour under the speed limit. You change lanes. You go to go around them.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
You go to go around them.
And they
speed up.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, whatever. And then there are, 27 car lanes in front of me, so I get back into the right-hand lane.
And then they
slow back down.
Yeah.
And you finally get around them and realize the guy's on his phone.
Mm-hmm.
He's not watching the road at all, has no idea how fast he's going, and doesn't realize that he's going 20 miles an hour under the speed limit until cars pass him.
Yeah, he's playing Clash of Clans and driving with his knee.
How do we not have a 27 car pileup every 7 minutes?
Yeah, and it's like I said, it's only gotten worse. Like I said, I see a lot more people running red lights now, and there are times where you're sitting at you ever been like 3 cars behind the lead car at the light, and you realize that you're sitting through the green light?
Oh yeah, all the time.
Like, again, I feel sorry for motorcycle drivers. You gotta have nerves of steel and balls of brass to get on a motorcycle with the amount of attention span that people have now.
Dude, I literally don't get what could possibly be so important on your phone that you're literally willing to risk your life.
I don't know. Who would have thought we'd be so reliant on this?
It's not reliance. It's literally addiction. It is not reliance.
It's addiction, yeah. Have you ever seen The Social Dilemma? Documentary on Netflix?
I'm sure I have.
Yeah, it makes sense. And again, I was like, wow, I do all those things. And it didn't change anything. And I'll be the first to admit to you, I'm addicted to technology. And I hate it.
I don't know that I'm addicted to technology, and I'm definitely not addicted to social media. I don't give. But another thing I do, like on my phone, I don't have games on my phone.
You don't?
No. Because every time I do,
you get hooked in.
Yeah.
Not even like little poker games anymore?
Nope, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
So you have a flip phone?
Basically. I mean, I've got all the search options and apps that I need for whatever, but at the end of the day...
Give me the phone that rings.
Yeah.
And vibrates. And can I get Snake? Yeah, there's too many distractions on the road, for sure.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're ready.
I'm ready. Actually, let me get 3, 2, 1.
No, stop.
And welcome to the show. Today we're discussing some activities in the state of Oklahoma during the month of June.
We're not doing it.
I am Harley, And that jackass on his cell phone is Brett.
At least I'm not driving down the road on a cell phone. And 3, 2, 1.